Forget the barbarians at the gates. The real reason the Roman Empire collapsed is boring, and that is exactly what makes it terrifying. No single villain, no dramatic battle, just paperwork, coins, and a slow accounting problem nobody fixed. Start with the map. By the 2nd century, Rome ruled from Britain to Syria. That is roughly 70 million people, thousands of miles of road, and one government trying to tax, feed, and defend all of it from a single capital. The whole machine ran on one thing: tax revenue. Farmers paid grain, provinces paid silver, and that money funded the legions. As long as the soldiers got paid, the borders held and the empire kept breathing. Then growth stopped. Rome ran out of rich new places to conquer. No new conquests meant no new gold, no new slaves, and no new tax base. The revenue line went flat, but the expenses kept climbing. Meanwhile, the army kept getting more expensive. Soldiers wanted bigger pay, bigger bonuses, and bigger retirement bundles. Civil wars broke out whenever emperors tried to say no. The army became the empire's most loyal customer and its biggest cost. So emperors did the boring, terrible thing. They cheated the money. They shaved silver out of every coin and replaced it with cheap metal. A coin that was once nearly pure silver slowly became a tin disc with a thin silver wash. This is called debasement. It is the ancient version of printing money. In year 1, your coin buys a loaf of bread. In year 50, the same coin buys a crust. Prices climb, savings shrink, trust in money quietly dies. Inflation hit everything. Merchants raised prices. Tax collectors brought back coins worth less than the year before, so the government raised the tax rate. The harder they squeezed, the less real value they actually collected. Farmers were hit hardest. Taxes were due in coin, but coin kept losing value, while harvests were unpredictable. Many small farmers simply walked off their land. Empty fields meant less grain, which meant less tax, which meant more pressure on whoever remained. To keep the army fed, the state stopped trusting its own money. It started demanding taxes in kind: wheat, oil, leather, iron, delivered straight to the legions. Rome was quietly sliding from a money economy back into barter. At the same time, the rich got very good at not paying. Wealthy landowners bought up abandoned farms, hired private guards, and used political connections to dodge collectors. The tax base narrowed to the people least able to carry it. Splitting the empire in two was supposed to help. One emperor in the west, one in the east. But it doubled the courts, doubled the bureaucracy, and doubled the bribes. The administrative cost crept up while the productive base kept shrinking. Then the boring problem met a brutal accident. A plague swept the empire, killing maybe a quarter of the population in some regions. Fewer people meant fewer farmers, fewer soldiers, fewer taxpayers. The accounting problem suddenly had a body count. By the time the famous barbarian invasions arrived, the empire was already hollow. The treasury was empty, the army was underpaid, the farms were thin, and the citizens were tired. The Goths did not topple Rome. They pushed on a wall that was already leaning. That is the boring version. No single villain, no glorious last stand, just decades of cheap coins, missed taxes, and quiet decisions that nobody wanted to fix. The terrifying part is how normal it all looked from the inside, right up until the wall fell.